Welcome back, everyone. Today on Insurance Traps, the floor that didn't look damaged, that flooring looked perfect. No burns, no melting, no visible soot, nothing that appeared physically damaged. So it was placed into the undamaged matching bucket. And that was the trap, because the flooring did not merely fail to match, it had sustained direct physical damage from the covered fire. Nobody knew it yet because nobody had looked beneath it. I'm Scott Harris, CEO of NAPAICC, and this is Insurance Traps, where we expose the assumptions, classifications, and claim handling shortcuts that can quietly change the outcome of an insurance claim. And this trap started with one sentence: we only insure against direct physical loss. I smiled. I agree, because that was exactly the issue. The question was not whether the policy required direct physical loss. The question was whether anyone had actually investigated whether direct physical loss existed. A little boy received one of those battery-powered ride-on cars for Christmas. One evening, it was plugged in near the foyer of his family's Florida home. During the night, the battery overheated. The plastic body caught fire. The fire itself was relatively small. The smoke was not. Heavy black soot moved through the open concept home from the foyer into the kitchen, living room, hallway, and surrounding rooms. The fire marshal investigated. No foul play. The manufacturer was identified as a potential subrogation target. It was a covered fire loss. It was a covered fire loss. The insurance company assigned an adjuster. And to be fair, he did a good job on most of the claim. He paid for smoke remediation. He paid to clean the home. He paid for damaged personal property. He paid to repaint the affected walls, ceilings, and trim. Honestly, I probably would have adjusted those portions the same way. Then he reached the flooring. The home had one continuous luxury vinyl plank floor running throughout nearly the entire house. He walked across it. He looked down. No burn marks, no melted planks, no visible smoke staining, nothing that looked damaged. So the flooring was placed into a different category, not direct physical damage, matching. Approximately $4,000 was paid under the matching provision for the remaining rooms. Then the claim was closed. That classification seemed reasonable, right up until it wasn't. The homeowner kept saying, "The house still smells." She was told it might be post-event sensory trauma and that she would eventually acclimate. Maybe, maybe not. But something bothered me. Not the policy language, not even the initial conclusion, the investigation, because nobody had actually investigated the flooring. No planks had been lifted, no samples had been collected, no laboratory testing had been performed. The flooring had been classified as undamaged because it looked undamaged. And by the naked eye, I agreed. It looked perfect. But appearance is not a coverage determination. So instead of arguing, we tested the conclusion. We removed one plank from inside a hallway closet, a location where nobody would notice. The top looked exactly like every other plank in the house, clean, intact, undamaged. Then we turned it over, and the entire claim changed. The underside was coated with a greasy black residue. Smoke had migrated beneath the flooring. Cleaning water had carried combustion residue into areas nobody had inspected. The contamination had bonded to the backing of the flooring. The laboratory confirmed that the residue could not be effectively removed. The flooring itself had sustained direct physical damage from the covered fire. That is the trap. The flooring had been placed into the matching bucket because the visible surface looked fine, but matching was never the primary issue. The flooring belonged in the direct physical damage bucket. It had simply been misclassified before the investigation was complete. Then came the second issue. ITEL determined that the flooring had been discontinued. Now, the entire claim had to be viewed differently. This was not merely undamaged flooring that no longer matched. This was physically contaminated flooring that could not be cleaned, repaired, or replaced with the same product. We submitted the laboratory report, the ITEL report, our causation analysis, our coverage determination, our estimate. The carrier reviewed the evidence and paid to replace the flooring throughout the home. And once the flooring itself was covered, the related work followed. The continuous flooring had to be replaced. The baseboards had to be detached and reset. The walls and trim had to be repainted after reinstallation. The claim did not change because we argued louder. It did not change because we threatened litigation. It did not change because we discovered some magical policy loophole. It changed because the evidence showed that the loss had been placed into the wrong bucket. That is one of the most dangerous insurance traps. A component looks undamaged, so the claim handler assumes it is undamaged. Then the discussion moves immediately to matching, appearance, or uniformity. But matching and direct physical damage are not the same coverage question. Before deciding which bucket something belongs in, you first have to finish the investigation. Because once a claim is placed into the wrong category, every decision that follows may be perfectly logical and completely wrong. So when someone says, we only insure against direct physical loss, I agree. But before deciding direct physical loss does not exist, somebody should probably look beneath the surface. Like this video, if you believe claim decisions should follow the evidence. Share it with an adjuster, contractor, restoration professional, attorney, or homeowner who needs to understand the difference between matching and physical damage. And subscribe to the NAPAICC Insider for more episodes of Insurance Traps. Because the most expensive mistake on a claim is often not missing the damage. It is placing the damage into the wrong bucket.